Namaskar. For the paper of microwave electronics in the chapter of waveguides, today we discuss transverse magnetic and transverse electric waves in circular or cylindrical waveguides. In our previous lecture, we have discussed the transverse magnetic and transverse electric waves in rectangular waveguides. Now for the circular waveguides, in order to find out the field components of electric and magnetic field and the various other parameters like cutoff frequency, cutoff wavelength, etc. First of all, we solve the Maxwell equations to find out the field components of the waves propagating along z-axis, which is considered here the axis of the circular waveguide. Now, in curvilinear coordinates, the curl of any vector is given by the equation del cross A equal to 1 upon h1 h2 h3, and in determinant in first row h1 u cap, h2 v cap, h3 w cap, in second row del over del u, del over del v, del over del w, and in the third row h1 au, h2 av, and h3 aw, where h1 h2 h3 are scale factors in curvilinear coordinates. Now for the cylindrical coordinates, the scale factors values are given by h1 equal to 1, h2 equal to rho, and h3 equal to 1. And the curvilinear coordinates u, v, and w are respectively replaced by rho, phi, and z. And in accordance, we will also represent the components of the vector A in curvilinear coordinates, which are au equal to a rho, av component is considered here as a phi, and aw as az. By considering these changes, the above equation now becomes del cross A equal to 1 upon rho, and in determinant rho cap, rho phi cap, z cap, del over del rho, del over del phi, del over del z, a rho, rho a phi, and az, and this is expressed in equation number 1. Now, as in our previous rectangular waveguide discussion, here also we were considering the propagation along the z-axis, which is also the axis of the waveguide, and assuming the harmonic dependence of the electric and magnetic fields, which has time dependence given by exponent j omega t. In this way, as the fields may be represented by equal to E0 e raised to the power j omega t, magnetic field may be represented by B vector equal to B0 e raised to the power j omega t, and the operator del over del t may be therefore replaced by j omega. And when the wave propagates along z-axis, then the variation along z-axis will be given by e raised to the power minus gamma z, and therefore the operator del over del z may be therefore replaced by minus gamma. Now from equation 1, if we write down the component for the curl of E vector, and from the Maxwell equation, as we know, that curl of E vector is equal to minus del B over del T. So now from equation 1, del cross may be represented as coefficients of rho cap, phi cap and z cap unit vectors from by expanding the determinant solved in equation shown in equation number 1, and the del over del T is replaced on the RHS side by minus j omega, and B is replaced here by mu h. So in this way, from this equation, if we resolve it for the rho, phi and z components, then these will be shown in equation number 2 here. In a similar way, for the Maxwell equation, del cross B equal to mu Gf plus mu epsilon del E over del T. For non-conducting medium, the free current density Gf will be 0, and here we have replaced del over del T term by j omega here, and therefore this Maxwell equation now can be written as del cross H equal to j omega epsilon E. Again, from equation number 1, if we also resolve it to find out the components of rho and phi, which are now here shown in equation number 3 and 3b. Now if we simultaneously solve equation 2a, 2b and 3a and 3b, then these equations can be combined to obtain the components H rho, H phi, E rho and E phi for the electric and magnetic fields. Here again we have considered gamma square plus omega square mu epsilon equal to H square. Also, in curvilinear coordinates, Laplacian of a function, scalar function psi, is given by del square psi equal to 1 upon h1 h2 h3 del over del u h2 h3 upon h1 del psi upon del u plus del over del v of h3 h1 upon h2 del psi over del v plus del over del w of h1 h2 upon h3 del psi over del w, and again changing h1 h2 h3 scale factor values and the curvilinear coordinates u v w by rho phi z, then this Laplacian equation will change in cylindrical coordinates given by del square psi equal to 1 upon rho del over del rho of rho del psi over del rho plus del over del phi of 1 upon rho del psi over del phi plus del over del z of rho del psi over del z, and changing psi by Ez and Hz, then this equation will takes the form shown in equation number 6 and 7, and in these equations again we will change del over del z by minus gamma here again. Now to find out the solution of the equations 6 and 7, first we find out the solution for equation number 6. We consider for the wave propagating along z axis, the electric field component Ez is given by the product of the two functions p and q, where p is a function of rho only, q is a function of phi only, and into e raised to the power minus gamma z for the propagation along z axis. Now if we substitute this equation number 8 into equation number 6, this will gives us the following equation here, and now dividing each term of this equation by pq, we get equation number 9, and in equation number 9 the term 1 upon q del 2q over del phi square. It is a function of rho only, so we may consider it equal to minus n square, where n square is a constant, or this equation then becomes del 2q over del phi square plus n square q equal to 0, giving us the solution for q, which is a function of phi, equal to an cos n phi plus bn sin n phi, given by equation number 11, where an and bn are constants. Also, with the help of equation number 9 and the equation number 10, the equation number 9 will now takes the form del 2p over del rho square plus 1 upon rho del p over del rho plus h square minus n square upon rho square p equal to 0. Now, rearranging this equation by dividing each term by h square, then this will takes the form of equation number 12. Now, equation number 12 is a standard Bessel function differential equation with argument rho h, and in its solution, if we retain only the finite part, then the solution of equation number 12 is given by p rho h equal to jn rho h, where jn is a Bessel function of order n, which is of the first kind of this equation, solution of equation number 12. We have considered here only the real part. Other part of the solution is ignored here, since it becomes infinite at rho equal to 0. Now, with the help of equation number 8, 11 and 13, the solution which we have earlier used as Ez equal to product of p rho q phi and e raised to the power minus gamma z. So, substituting the value of p and q, the solution for Ez will be of the form of equation number 14. Similarly, for the wave equation for Hz component, in a similar manner, the solution can be given by equation number 15, which is Hz equal to jn rho h cn cos n phi plus dn sin n phi e raised to the power minus gamma z. Now, we consider the case for the TM wave, that is transverse magnetic waves. For transverse magnetic waves, the component of magnetic field along the direction of wave propagation, that is along z axis, will be 0, that is Hz will be 0, and therefore we will use the solution for the Ez component given by equation number 14. And in equation number 14, the values of the constants can be evaluated by substituting the boundary conditions for the tangential component of the magnetic electric field. As we know that at the metallic surfaces or the surface of the cylinder, which is at rho equal to a, the tangential component of electric field is always 0 on the conducting surface. So, therefore, the tangential component will be, since it is Ez, so Ez must vanish at the surface of the conductor, and from equation number 14, the value of Ez to vanish at rho equal to a, where a is the radius of the cylinder, then when we put rho equal to a, only the Jn rho h term contain rho, so the value of Jn rho h will become Jn ah. So only this will vanish at the surface in order to vanish Ez equal to 0. So the value of therefore Jn ah equal to 0 gives us the values of the roots. Here in table 1 we have shown few roots of equation number 16 for the Bessel function for order n equal to 0, n equal to 1, 2, 3 and number of roots, that is which is represented by the integer m equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 etc. It means the first root, second root, third root corresponding to the order n. So from this equation we can find out the roots, that is it will gives us the values of ah. Now from equation 5 we have considered gamma square equal to h square minus omega square mu epsilon, from which we will now write down for the equation for the propagation constant gamma, which is equal to alpha plus j beta. Now as in rectangular waveguides also we have considered that for wave propagation h square must be less than omega square mu epsilon, otherwise the value of gamma will remain real, and it means there will be no phase constant. So the wave to transmit in the waveguide, it is necessary that gamma must be imaginary or complex. Gamma must be complex. It means gamma equal to j beta, which is possible only if h square is less than omega square mu epsilon. So therefore in the condition when the frequencies of wave propagation are such that for omega square mu epsilon, which is when equal to h square, the value of frequency omega is defined as the cutoff frequency, and then h square will become omega c square mu epsilon. So here omega c is the cutoff frequency. So considering this value of cutoff frequency, so for the frequencies above cutoff frequency, the expression for gamma will become imaginary, which will gives us the value of the phase constant beta given by equation number 17. So the cutoff frequency in hertz is given by h_n_m upon 2 pi under root mu epsilon. So this can be obtained first solving for omega c. In this equation, omega c square is given by h square upon mu epsilon and omega c equal to 2 pi fc. So from here we have calculated the value of fc. Now the value of h is replaced here by h_n_m, and h_n_m is equal to h_a_n_m upon a. Values of h_a_n_m are the roots of the jn rho h equal to 0 given in table 1. The first few roots are here mentioned as HA01 equal to 2.405, HA11 equal to 3.832 from the table, HA02 equal to 5.520, HA12 equal to 7.106. So these modes for the TM waves are represented here by TMNM mode or TMNM wave. So here in the TMNM, the first subscript n and the second subscript m, these refers to the root in the order of magnitude, and n is also the order of the Bessel function. Now the phase velocity can be defined as Vp equal to omega upon beta. Substituting the value of beta, the phase velocity expression is given by equation number 19. Now by the proper choice of the axis, that is the phi axis, may be oriented in such a way that we may make the coefficient Bn equal to 0, and from equation number 14 then the component Ez will be given by An, Jn, H rho cos n phi e raised to the power minus gamma z. Now the other field components can be obtained by substituting the value of Ez from equation number 20 into equation number 4, as earlier we have shown in equation number 4. So for Tm waves, since Hz equal to 0, so therefore in equation number 4 the last term in all the 4 equations vanishes, and the value of Ez in the first terms is substituted from equation number 20, and then we may write down the field components, all the field components for the Tm waves. Similarly, now we discuss for the TE waves. Now for TE waves propagating along z-axis, that is along the axis of the waveguide, Ez will be consequently 0, and therefore the solution for the Hz component will be obtained in a similar manner as we have earlier discussed for the Ez component. So here Hz will be given by Hz0 e raised to the power minus gamma z, where Hz0 is in a similar way can be obtained as Cn Jn H rho cos n phi. And from equation number 4, the field components with the help of equation number 22 and also by considering the value of Ez equal to 0. So these equations will be shown in equation number 23. Now we again put the boundary conditions. The boundary condition is that at the surface of the cylinder, that is at rho equal to A, the tangential component of the electric field will be 0. It means Ez and rho for E phi will be 0. So the boundary condition will be applied for E phi, and E phi means from the last equation of equation number 23, when E phi is 0, it means del Hz over del rho will be 0. Substituting the value of Hz from equation number 22. So for the boundary, to apply the boundary condition at rho equal to A, therefore J and H rho, when the term is substituted from equation number 22 in the condition del Hz over del rho equal to 0, this will give us J and dash H rho equal to 0 at rho equal to A. So therefore this will become J and dash H A equal to 0. So here J and dash, this prime term J and prime, this shows the derivative of Bessel function Jn with respect to rho. So now the solution of equation number 24 are shown in table 2. The first few roots are shown here for the order n equal to 0, 1, 2 and 3 values. The first and second roots for these orders are shown in the first row for m equal to 1 and in the second row for m equal to 2 for various orders, and the first few roots are given by HA prime 01, HA prime 11, HA prime 02, and HA prime 11. So these are the roots for the TE waves. So these modes corresponding to these roots, these are designated as TENM waves. The other expressions for the cutoff frequency, phase velocity, and other related parameters are similar to those as earlier discussed for the TM waves. Now it is interesting to compare the results of both TE and TM waves. So here the minimum value of the root occur for TE11 wave, which is 1.841, and this value of HA, since it is related with the cutoff frequency as earlier shown in equation number 17, where Fc is given by HNM upon 2 pi under root mu epsilon. So the value of HNM, or in this case for the TE wave HNM dash, whichever mode possesses the minimum frequency, so that mode will be defined as the dominant mode. So in cylindrical waveguide, TE11 mode is defined as the dominant mode, and for the TM wave, the mode TM01 possesses the minimum frequency for TM waves. So TE11, since this mode among all possible TE and TM modes in cylindrical waveguide possesses the minimum frequency, so therefore this mode is called dominant mode. Now in these figures we have shown the field configurations for TE11 and TM11 modes in the figures. So the two different views, that is side view and end view, are shown in these figures. The solid lines shows the electric lines of force, while the dotted lines shows the magnetic lines of force. Now in the next part, here we will also discuss that how the modes can be excited in the case of circular waveguides. So as in the case of rectangular waveguides, we have discussed that there are two popular modes for the excitation of various waves in waveguides, and these are probe coupling and loop coupling. So here for the excitation of TM01 mode and TE11 mode, a coaxial line or antenna probe is inserted as shown in the figures for the cylindrical waveguide. For the excitation of TE11 wave, the probe is inserted in the side in the circular surface side, while for the TM01 wave, the probe or coaxial line is inserted in the side wall of the waveguide. So the probe will produce electric field variations, and the time varying electric field in turn produces the magnetic field waves, and in this way we may excite the various modes in the circular or cylindrical waveguides. In our next lecture, we will discuss the losses or attenuation in waveguides. In that case, we will discuss the attenuation due to lossy dielectric medium and wall losses. Thank you.